Check.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Oh, Rimmer, it's Saturday night. I've had enough.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Rimmer, it's Saturday night. I want a boogie on down.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
We've been doing this for 4 hours. Let's have a break.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Rimmer, will you stop saying 4,981 irradiated haggis and speak to me?
4,691 irradiated haggis.
Rimmer, I want to go for a drink.
4,691 irradiated haggis.
I want to have some fun.
This is fun. Are you mad?
So, as usual, Rimmer and Lister are not getting along, and we see more evidence of how Lister is lazy and Rimmer is a control freak and how their different outlooks clash with each other. Lister finally asks Holly the million-dollar question.
Holly, why Rimmer's hologram? Why did you have to bring Rimmer's hologram back?
And not his love interest, Christine Kochanski.
And who should I have brought back then?
Anyone? Shen, Peterson? I mean, Herman Goering would have been more of a laugh than Rimmer.
The answer is basically that he barely exchanged any words with her, and there was no kind of relationship. Slight spoiler, that's gonna get retconned in a few seasons, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Flashback time.
I have been to Juno. I can name 8 things that go in jars of Juno. Brains!
In jars? And my uncle's brains in a jar. It's really sad.
Why is it sad?
He's not dead yet.
Yeah, you're gonna find that a lot less funny in season 6, Lister. Anytime someone empties their glass of beer on this show, they put it on their head, sometimes upside down. Is this a UK thing or a random future thing the writers made up? I have never seen that before, but I also don't watch a lot of British television. It's pretty much this and Blackadder. Rimmer shows up in his Commander Mark coveralls. I know at least one person gets that reference.
Where's my revision timetable?
Wait, is this the thing in all different colours with all the subjects divided into study periods and rest periods and self-testing time?
And this is another thing that makes an appearance later. We actually get to see one in season 10, and it is glorious.
Leave it alone! Leave it! Alone?
Meanwhile, the cat has found the supply of cigarettes that Rimmer has been hiding from Lister as punishment. Like I said before, I'm trying to direct focus away from the cat for now because I plan to talk about him in a separate video, but
I'll show you how to get all the fish you'll ever need.
5 fish? 5 fish?
it's hard because he is so precious. Meanwhile, Lister is listening to music that comes with a health warning.
This music can make you irritable and irrational and has been linked with disorders of the nervous system and bowels.
Can we add that warning to like 90% of all country music while we're at it?
Why don't you listen to something really classical like Mozart, Mendelssohn or Motorhead?
Do you remember Christine Kochanski? Well, I want to go on a date with her.
Tough, she's dead.
Lister tries to convince Rimmer to turn himself off for one evening so that he can be replaced with a hologram of Kochanski,
But you're just going to say no?
Not necessarily, I'm mulling it over.
which goes about as well as you'd expect.
No. And there's still a pecking order, and I'm pecking you, baby.
Okay.
Actually, okay, Lister is not a threat, technically speaking.
So Lister decides to take the exam that will grant him a higher rank than Rimmer, so Rimmer will have to agree to let him have Kochanski and give his cigarettes back.
Lister, okay is never a threat, no matter how many A's you put on the end. Holly, give me a cold shower, will you please?
I feel like I should take a cue from SF Debris and call scenes like this stupid hologram tricks.
Can you give me a clean uniform? Perhaps you can manage that? Holly, where's my arm? It's got tattoos. Candy, Denmark forever. Is this Peterson's arm, Holly?
It's especially funny because if you pay attention to the flashbacks with Peterson, his arms really are that hairy. And Holly's fucking with Rimmer again. I love the audience's reaction. It's pretty much my reaction too, because that really looks painful. If you're a hologram on Red Dwarf, you really don't want to get on Holly's bad side.
Done it. Just in time.
I hate everything.
Rimmer goes looking for Lister and finds that he isn't in the theater as he would normally be.
What are you two doing here? Scutters don't have time off! I'll deal with you two later.
Insert ubiquitous comment about how much I love the Scutters. It turns out that Lister is taking the chef's exam, which would put him at a higher rank than Rimmer.
A white-hatted ponce? That's not a real officer.
It outranks you, Smeg for brains.
I mean, you're tense and I'm tense, and there's just absolutely no need for it.
I'm not tense.
Of course you're tense, you rectum-faced pygmy.
Rimmer comes up with the best insults, I'll give him that.
You can have the cigarette. Throw in pipeline 22.
I know.
Good. The cat betrayed me.
Of course he did. Of course, now that Lister appears to be doing well on his exam, Rimmer is getting worried.
Oh, come on, Lister. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Chuckle, guffaw, giggle. That's Rimsey and Listy.
I love how he mocks him by drawing a letter H on his forehead.
You never learn, do you?
So Lister is in the middle of the chef's exam when...
Hello, babe. I'm sorry, but I just don't like you. I need a man who's going places. Up, up, up the ziggurat, lickety-split.
Go away, Rimmer.
Look, I'm a bit out of sorts at the moment. I'm having a woman's period.
A woman's period? Women don't speak like that.
I've never heard anyone call it a woman's period. Must be a UK thing. Of course that was really Rimmer. You can actually tell right away if you're familiar with how he talks.
Holly, this is not my breast. I want my own nipple back, Holly.
Stay classy, Rimmer.
There's no rush, Holly. How did you do? How did you do, Lister?
How did I do, Mr. Lister, sir?
And so ends Balance of Power.
The most interesting event that happened recently.
Oh, and Holly reveals at the beginning of the next episode that Lister lied about passing the exam.
That gives you some idea of how truly exciting some days can be around here.
This was another kind of filler episode, but less fillery than Future Echoes. That bit of darkness from the pilot returns, with Lister reminiscing about the good times he had with his drinking buddies. As annoyed as he was while they were mocking his attraction to Kochanski, he clearly misses it now that they're all dead. Not to mention the fact that there was a time when he could have talked to Kochanski and didn't. Speaking of which, I have to wonder if Lister really thought through his idea of having Kochanski as a hologram. Does he really just only want to talk to her, or has he not considered the fact that he wouldn't be able to touch her in any way? I suspect that it's the latter. Lister is not the brightest bulb in the pack sometimes. Though I'm a bit surprised that the show didn't address that. It seems like something Rimmer would have jumped on. That's just my opinion. It could be that Lister does realize that, but knows that just seeing and talking to her is the best he can hope for at this point, so he goes for it. That's actually kind of depressing. Next up is one of my favorite Season 1 episodes, Waiting for God. See you then.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
I will.